This is call number 2020-14696 in the interest of Raiden Salazar. Please, all parties raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, ma'am. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Amanda Garcia, and I'm the child's mother.
All right. And for the state?
Toya Armstrong, representing the Office of the Attorney General.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent, Ray Van Salazar III, is not present. Has he checked in, Ms. Armstrong?
He has not, Your Honor.
All right.
And therefore, we would like to proceed by default.
All right. It appears that Mr. Salazar was present in court on May 19th and signed a reset order, setting this matter for hearing today. Further, he was given notice by certified mail of this Zoom hearing to be held today, which was delivered August 28th, 2020. Was there any service on him? He wasn't,
No,
sir.
he made the appearance. He signed the
Okay.
receipt, and that we closed out a service path due to his appearance in court that day.
Okay. All right, we'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to call Amanda Garcia. Ms. Garcia, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And are you the mother of the child in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is the father?
Raven Salazar III.
And is it possible that someone else could be the father of the child?
No, ma'am.
And how
And
old
what
are
is-
you, Miss Garcia?
25.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, have there been any type of violence in the past between you and Mr. Salazar?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the court about the most recent incident of that?
It was last year in September when he tried to break into my house and he was arrested.
Okay. In fact, he's been in and out of jail a few times, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And is he currently incarcerated?
No, he's out on bond for stabbing someone.
Okay. And is this the reason why you do not want your address to be disclosed in the order?
Yes, ma'am.
And if Mr. Salazar were to have your address, would that pose any potential harm to you or the child?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, based on that, I'm recommending to the court that you be the sole managing conservator of the child. Are you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And for Mr. Salazar to be what's called the possessory conservator.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes or a no?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you wanting supervised visits, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay with supervised visits through the domestic relations office?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you have your child covered through medical and dental?
Through my job insurance?
And you pay a cost for that each month, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the court to order Mr. Salazar to reimburse you for that medical and dental cost?
No, ma'am.
So you're asking the court to set $0 for medical support and $0 for dental support?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, for child support, we use minimum wage calculation. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know if Mr. Salazar has any other children besides Raiden Salazar?
He has 2 daughters.
Okay, and how old are those 2 daughters?
One is 7 and one is 4.
Okay. And do you know if those children live in his household?
No, ma'am, they don't.
And do you know if he has a child support order for those children?
I'm not 100% sure.
All right. But the lady who negotiated the case with you discussed that, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so based on what we found out or did not find out, we set child support at 20% based on his income. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe that came to child support of $228 per month.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you okay with that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay with that beginning November 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness, Your Honor. I have no further.
All right, the court will approve the order as submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. You may log off.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, we have one more default to prove up, Your Honor.
Is that Harrison?
Yes, sir, the Harrison
All right,
case.
is the party on the line, or is this a double default?
No, she's
Yes.
here. Ms. Harrison, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right, this is call number 2020-04071 in the interest of Valeria and Callie Harrison. Please raise your right hand to be sworn, ma'am. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Kiara Jones, and I'm the mother.
And for the state,
Koya Armstrong, representing the Office of the Attorney General.
court will note that the non-custodial parent is Corey Dwayne Harrison. He was served personally on April 18, 2020 at 12:38 p.m. at 1424 Cypress Creek Parkway in Houston, Harris County, Texas. And he's not filed an answer, is that correct?
That's
Ms.
correct.
Armstrong?
That is correct. He's not made an appearance. He's not filed an answer, but he was personally served. So we'd like to proceed by a no answer default at this time.
All right, we'll proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to call Ms. Harrison. Ma'am, is that you? Are you Kiara Harrison?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you the mother of the child?
I am.
Who is the father?
Corey Dwayne Harrison.
Okay. And were y'all married at the time or still married?
We are married, but
Currently.
we've been separated.
Okay. And the child was born September 18th of 2019. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the youngest child.
And the oldest was born May 3rd, 2017. Is that correct?
Yes. May 2nd.
May 2nd. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Now, has there been any family violence between the two of you? You and Ms.
Yes, ma'am.
Harrison? What about the most recent event of that?
The end of 2019, he had another bipolar experience, and he spazzed out and he vandalized my car.
Okay.
$5,000 worth of damage.
And if he were to have your address, if you were to move and we get your new address, would that potentially cause further harm to you?
I believe so, if he had another episode.
Yes, ma'am. And because of this, I'm recommending to the court that you be the sole managing conservator of the children. Are you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm asking the court to make Mr. Harrison what's called the possessory conservator of the children. Are you okay with that?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you going to be geographically restricted to keep the children's primary residence in Harris County or a county that touches Harris County? Are you okay with that as well?
Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of visitation are you wanting for Mr. Harrison to have with the children?
The protection, the Harris County protection. I forgot
Okay, is that
the-
supervised?
Yes.
Okay, and are you okay with supervised visitation to the domestic relations office?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know if Mr. Harrison is employed?
He is. He's a barber.
Does he own his barber shop? His own barber shop? I'm sorry.
We did when we were together, and then when we separated, he's been cutting wherever he's residing at.
All right. And when he was cutting hair, you were part of that business, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And how much were you making? How much were y'all making each month before taxes through the barbershop business?
Separately,
How much was the shop making? Was he making?
he makes about $5,000 to $6,000
Per what, ma'am?
per month. I'm sorry.
Per month. Okay. And are you aware if he has any other minor children besides the 2 children he has with you?
He does, and they reside with their mothers.
Okay. Does he pay child support orders for those children?
Only for one.
And when we calculated child support, we gave him credit for that additional child. Is that correct?
Yes, they did. Yes.
Okay. And child support came to $936 per month for 2 children.
Yes.
And are you asking the court to award you child support in that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you have the children covered for medical insurance?
They are getting Medicaid, United Healthcare.
And we calculated his medical support would be $350 per month. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay with that amount?
Yes, I am.
And this is all going to start November 1st of 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you also requesting retroactive child support in this case?
Yes, I was.
And we did calculate that to be $6,252. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You were asking the court to take a judgment against Mr. Harrison for that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you okay if I ask the judge to have Mr. Harrison pay an additional $85 per month towards that judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
And that payout would also begin November 1st of 2020. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And if someone were to pay court costs, should it be you or Mr. Harrison?
Mr. Harrison.
And I think we have that due December 5th of 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness, Your Honor. The state has no further witnesses on this case.
All right, the court will approve the order. And you're going to submit it, is that correct?
Yes, we will submit the order, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Ms. Harrison, you can log off for me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Log back into the other one. I don't know if he needs you to go to the other one or not.